Hello, welcome to Miller Flowers. This is the instructional video on how to create an evergreen wreath from the comfort of your own home. You would have received a kit with a wreath ring just like this one. You're going to put it down on your table. You also received paddle wire, a little thing of incense cedar, which you're going to put to the side because you're going to use that the very last. 3 pine cones, which you're also going to put over to the side because that will also be last. 2 picks of berries, that will also be last, so you'll put that over to the side. A bow will also be last, so you'll put that to the side as well. Magnolia leaves, you also put that to the side. And then white pine, western cedar, and Canaan fir. You'll need to find yourself a pair of sharp clippers, maybe a pair of gloves, and a cup of coffee, and let's begin on creating our evergreen wreath. Step 1, with your Canaan fir, you're going to receive something like this right here. You're going to take your clippers and clip it right here. Let's start making our bunches. You're going to need about 12 bunches to go around the entire wreath. I find it a lot easier if I create all 12 of my bunches and set those aside. It's a lot easier and faster to create this wreath. All right, you have done about 12 bunches of greens. On my Canaan fir, I cut it about 10 inches. I got about 6 stems, and then I also added a stem of cedar and then a stem of white pine as well. So you're going to bunch that together as your bunch is going to look like this right here, nice and full. The next step, you're going to take your paddle wire and you're going to fasten it onto or twist it onto your wreath. So it's going to look like this right here. You just want it to not move. Next, we are going to take our bunch of this right here, of our greens, and we're going to place it on top of where we fastened on the wire. So it's going to look like this right here. If you are left-handed, you're going to do the opposite. Then I'm going to take this and go around the wreath ring. And we go around about 3 or 4 times, nice and tight, so that it stays on and it doesn't come off the ring. And again, how big your wreath becomes or how small determines on how tight you tighten your wire. Well, you want it to tighten your wire, but it determines on how big you cut your greens. And so keep them nice and fluffy, if that makes sense. Next, you're going to take your second bunch and you're going to overlap it and you're going to turn it to the left like this right here, kind of to start forming that wreath. And you're going to overlap it like this so that this is directly on top of the first bunch. And you're going to go around it like this right here. So about 4 times. You're going to take your next bunch and you're going to overlap it like this right here. And you're going to keep doing that until you get all the way around to the end of the wreath and you use all 12 of your bunches. All right, so you are on your 12th bunch. You're going to take your 12th bunch and you're going to finish your wreath just like this, bringing it into this right here, filling in that hole, and then you're going to take your wire and go around your wreath. Again, going around for about 4 times so that it can hold that nice and tight onto your wreath. When you're done with your wreath, you're going to pull your wire tight, you're going to clip it, and then you're going to take it to the back of your wreath and twist it onto the other wires there in the back. If you want to make a loop so that it holds on your door better, you can also make a loop of wire, and that way you can put it directly on your door unless you have a door hook. You can actually just put the whole entire evergreen wreath. So when you are done, you will have a 24-inch wreath, or about that, and this is a blank canvas for you to create on. So you can add in however you choose to add in your bows, your berries, your pine cones, your magnolia leaf. Is up to you how you create it. This is a perfect wreath for your door, and we recommend watering it at least when it's hot, nice and warm outside, at least once or twice a week. You can spray it with a spray bottle, or you can soak the entire thing in some water. You can also water the back of it where the stems are exposed, and that keeps it nice and moist and should last all the way up until March. So this is how you create an evergreen wreath. Thank you for joining us, and Merry Christmas.